G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Aussie Starcraft as we bring you a continuation in this series from MLG's Game On. The top central location of Polar Knight, it's going to be Root Delusion. The bottom central location is our Red Terran, it is going to be Major. So it says Pokemon Windy, but that's one of the alternate tags for Major, our Mexican Terran player. Great player, certainly had some great results in the past, and Illusion absolutely on fire in this tournament. Great results against Scarlet early on in the group stage, and we've had some great TvT action thus far in the series. Major, of course, is at a 1-0 advantage, so Illusion's going to need to win 2 more games to progress, or Major just 1 more to seal out the series. Both these players duking out for a place in the round of 8, and so have some awesome TvT action on our hands, and an incredibly mirror match style opening from both these players. And it'll be interesting to see if it delineates at all as it gets into Factory and Starport Tech. It tends to be the first stages in a TvT where you see some differences, unless of course one of the players goes for something crazy like a proxy. Well, when I say crazy I mean funny, like a proxy. Particularly say that, I'm reminded of some of the Maru games we cast from WCS last year. Maru, I think, prides himself on being the king of proxies and Terran cheese. I think every single game, well, I guess one player calls it a proxy, another player calls it cheese. Let's be fair, he's the king of unconventional and crazy Terran openings. Certainly very exciting to match though. Oh, gee, a little bit tongue-tied. Sorry guys. Always exciting matches to cast, but always nice when they last longer than 6 or 7 minutes. So it'll be interesting to cast Maru this year. I'm definitely looking forward to some of his WCS games, that's for sure. And it looks like both players continuing to match each other stroke for stroke here as the barracks finish up. Now, just while we wait for this game to get underway, I'd just like to chat a little bit about the channel. Obviously, we've been casting a lot of MLG's Game On lately. There have been some major tournaments recently with IM Sao Paulo and a number of other large tournaments. We had Asus Winter, I believe it is, in the Northern Hemisphere at the moment. A little bit different for me. I'm from Australia naturally, so it's summer down here. Pretty sure it was Asus ROG Winter that finished up just a week ago, so there's going to be a massive volume of tournament games to cast. We'll certainly be trying to sprinkle a little bit of ladder goodness in there, and along with anything that our good viewers submit. So if you want us to cast a game here at Aussie Starcraft, by all means send a copy of the replay or or a link to it to our email address, which is of course aussiestarcraftreplays@gmail.com. The link's down in the subscription below, along with all our other goodnesses, things like subscription for the channel and our Facebook page. So you're welcome to join us there. Always enjoy chatting with you guys and getting a bit of a feel for the community and what you like to see. So if there's anything you'd like us to cast, by all means send it through to us. And we really appreciate your support. We've had some great submissions in the past and certainly enjoy the feedback from you, our viewers. So is of course a very community driven channel. We love to cast your favourite players, your favourite games, so by all means share these games with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. We'd love to spread the word and as much esports goodness as we can. So that's enough of that. Both these players starting to delineate just a little bit. We have a Banshee on the way for Illusion. Illusion tried for a similar opening last game but wasn't able to do as substantial damage as he perhaps wanted. Windy seems to be wanting to counter with a Raven. I love this opening from Windy. It's a very gas heavy investment. The Raven, the 200 gas often usually spent on things like stim pack and combat shields, but the Raven protects you from just so many different avenues of attack. It protects you from the Banshee. It means you don't have to spend 250 resources worth of energy that you would have otherwise got from a mule. You can spend it. You don't have to spend it on a scan, so it saves you there. And later on, when it gets to the crucial Terran air versus air battle to determine the outcome of the ground battle, the Raven gives you a great point defense drone and other things to secure the win there. So I love the choice of a Raven here from Major. It looks like it actually looks like that we'll see similar out of Illusion following up with the Raven. This Banshee is going to be in already. A lot of Marines here, so the only option for this Banshee is going to be to fall down, but some nice micro there is actually going to kill 2 workers. and looks like Illusion's not done yet. A lot of these Marines taking damage here. I imagine we'll see a Viking, and it is about to pop out for a Major, so that will threaten the Banshee considerably. The Banshee, of course, is going to be slower than the Viking, so the Viking is going to be able to chase this Banshee down. Well, actually, if the angle's just right, he may be able to get away. Movement speed 2.75 compared to the movement speed of 2.75. So on just the right angle, that Banshee will be able to get away. And that's about as narrow as it comes for that Banshee pilot. She'll be smiling all the way home. You get even, if you caught the portrait there, was looking over its shoulder. That's pretty neat. I don't know if that was a random fluke of the animation, but certainly seemed pretty apt given she was running for her life. Illusion going to be throwing down a bunker here to protect his natural expansion. The natural expansion going to be grabbing that orbital command, and it looks like we're going to have Major moving out quite early here. So looks like Illusion's going to grab his expansion well ahead of Major, and the onus is going to be on Major to try and do some damage here. We've had Illusion already get in a nice amount of damage with that Banshee, but more importantly, the Banshee actually making it home was the shocker there. And we have a second Banshee actually in play. So these first Banshee's now been repaired, so we're going to have two parallel Banshees here, going to be inflicting a lot of damage. There's actually no missile turrets here. It looks like Major's in fact moved out without leaving his Raven at home, so there's potential here for these Banshees to do massive damage. There isn't actually even an engineering bay in play, so there's absolutely nothing that Major can do to actually prevent this. He needs to get an engineering bay down, or needs to get the Raven home. The Raven is making its way back with the Viking, but these Banshees just continuing to do a lot of damage. 9 kills here. Unfortunately, the Banshee overstaying its welcome. It looks like Illusion might have been a little bit distracted. There's other Banshee doing a lot of damage in the expansion. These Banshees have 13 kills on one now, 14 kills on the first Banshee. The second Banshee coming back for another run at the main base, 9 kills, so 23 kills between these Banshees, just doing massive damage to Major's economy. These Vikings and Raven just can't move fast enough. Looks like this Banshee likewise going to grab 13 kills. The army for Major, unfortunately, getting caught out of position as Illusion's forces come steamrolling. There is 4 tanks here to defend the natural expansion of Major, so these will be crucial in trying to hold Illusion off, but Illusion just having done so much damage with those Banshees. Just an absolutely incredible amount of damage. If we look at the units lost tab, it's literally double this early in the game. 10 minutes in, we have 1,500 resources difference. 1 Viking here. Unfortunately for this Viking, it is outnumbered by the defenders. Point defense drone being thrown down, certainly going to delay the Viking, but 2 can play that game, and Major drops 2 of his own. Looks like the Viking's going to have to land to save itself, and Illusion's going to have to pull back. These 4 tanks just a little bit too potent here. It looks like Illusion's going to pull back for another day. It's a fairly safe engagement. He's economically ahead. He's 13 workers ahead of Major, and he's been producing quite well off 2 bases for some time now. Tank count continuing to rise. We're actually having some Hellions in play as well, and it looks like Illusion's going to make steady progress in this tank count. If we look at the unit counting station, it's 5 tanks to 3, so currently we do still have an advantage tank-wise for Major, but something that could easily be reversed with the construction of all these additional factories. So going up to 3 factory production, the starport keeping busy here, producing a few extra Vikings, as Illusion just continues to jockey for position in the middle of the field. Unfortunately for Illusion, this avenue that he's taking where he's trying to use these siege tanks, defender's advantage is quite prominent on the high ground this map. They've got to be so careful. This sort of play from Illusion, absolutely great. Going to be threatening this command center, make life very difficult for Major. He's going to have to siege up in range of these tanks or have his command center denied. 1 more volley will deny the command center. There's also this Banshee here that is going to be able to rain fire on. Nice volley from the tanks. They're actually going to eliminate 2 of Illusion's tanks, and that's quite substantial, because now Major's in a position to be able to move out with a substantial tank advantage. It's going to be 7 tanks to 3, so that last shot all important there. Major's going to be steamrolling across the map. His Vikings trying to clean up the remainder of the point defense drone, but Illusion absolutely fearless here, going to bring in 2 tanks for reinforcement, and just try to do as much damage to Major as he can here. And I like this choice from Illusion. He knows that he has a disadvantage, so he's trying to engage Major out in the middle of the map. Doesn't want Major to make it outside his base and be able to contain. He's actually going to clean up a lot of these tanks, so Major will have to fall back, and Illusion is going to press straight over the top of the tanks, and Major's going to GG, caught out of position by Illusion. So great play there from Illusion. Absolutely love his choice to engage here on the high ground rather than falling back to his base. It's easy when you're behind to think, right, fall back to my base where I can get my reinforcements and remass. If Illusion had have done that, he would have ended up pinned in his base by Major, and he would have been at an inferior tank gap. But instead, choosing to engage on the high ground when the tanks were on siege gave him the extra edge he needed to be able to roll it back. So Major Windy. Anyway, Windy going down this game. Series is going to be 1-1 going into game number 3, and anyone's game from here, guys. So don't disappear. Tune in for game 3, which is going to be just after the break. Thanks, guys.